It may be bitterly cold today, but it's a busy day on Capitol Hill, and another handful of the president picks for his cabinet are either appearing under or consideration for confirmation. That includes potentially key votes on two very important picks for U.S. national security. Would be CIA Chief John Ratcliffe and Trump's pick for Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. CBS News political reporter Taurean Small joins us live from the Hill now to talk about this. Who else is under consideration this morning, Taurean?
Yeah, Vlad, I got my head on a swivel because we're getting a bit of breaking news, but we know Doug Collins, former congressman from Georgia, now Trump's pick to head the Veteran Affairs Department, was voted out of committee by a pretty bipartisan vote, 18-1, just one defector Democrat there. Lee Zeldin, a congressman from New York, tapped ahead. The EPA was also voted out of committee, according to the Republicans there on the Environmental Committee, 11-8. And then Eric Turner, former football player, NFL star, tapped by President Trump to lead the Department of Housing and Urban Development, will also see his nomination go through committee vote to ultimately head to the floor. That's the process here. After it's voted out of committee, it's certainly on its way to a floor vote. Where it goes from there is to be seen, but it looks like Republicans have the votes for all three of those candidates there, and it's likely that they'll be confirmed sooner than later.
Later today, as you know, Taurean, the Senate will hold cloture votes on two other big picks, CIA Chief and Defense Secretary. What can you tell us about the process there?
Yeah, it's a complicated, but then not so complicated process. Democrats are using the filibuster, so a 2/3 majority is needed to pass through certain legislation, some confirmations. So Democrats are holding the line because they know that Republicans just don't have the numbers there to slow down this process. This cloture vote essentially overrides that, meaning that they would only need a simple majority for these confirmations to go through. We're seeing that for Ratcliffe, like you mentioned, and then also for Pete Hegseth, Trump's pick to head the Department of Defense. A controversial pick there, especially considering the fact that just a few days ago, his former sister-in-law, Danielle Hegseth, released this affidavit to the committee overseeing his confirmation, detailing some pretty serious allegations of abuse and public drunkenness, abuse of alcohol, I should say. Many of those Pete Hegseth and his attorney has denied. It doesn't appear that that is stymieing any support among Republicans, though we are watching Senators Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins, who have expressed reservations about Pete Hegseth. The magic number here, though, is 3-4. It doesn't appear that there are 4 defectors yet that are willing to block Hegseth's vote.
All right, Taurean Small for us on the Hill. Thank you, Taurean.